He just kissed his fiancée on the lips at the engagement party. Little did he know, she not only rinsed her mouth with a shot of baijiu in disgust, but also called the police and had him arrested for indecent assault. At first, he thought it was just her usual misogyny kicking in. Back when they first got together, she admitted she'd been hurt by her last relationship and suffered from intimacy issues. She'd instinctively push away any physical contact. She swore to him that once they tied the knot and became family, she'd no longer feel that way. It was this vague promise that kept him going through all the hell in prison. But soon after, he received a letter from a manipulative guy, filled with photos of his girlfriend and the man being intimate. Not long after, he was released from prison. His girlfriend came to pick him up as promised, but the passenger seat in her car, it was already taken by someone else. She assumed he was still upset about what happened 2 years ago, so she explained that back then, she was at the peak of her fear of intimacy. He found it hilarious. He'd been suffering like hell while she was busy making out with the other guy. Now, though, he didn't care anymore. Before getting out, he learned from the butler that the manipulative guy was actually the one who caused her to miscarry and dumped her for another woman. Now that she's rich, he's crawling back to her like a loyal dog. Heartbroken, he immediately agreed to take over his father's billion-dollar empire, with a flight booked for next Monday, the same day she planned to give him a second wedding. On the way home, she demanded he return to work right away, but his old position as general manager had already been given to the manipulative guy. He remembered how she'd promised him that if he became boss, she'd make him number 2 in the company. He believed her completely. Even before the company took off, he attended endless dinners, drank until he bled from his stomach, never complaining. Back then, she looked at him with so much concern, it broke his heart now that she only had eyes for the other man. When he got home, even the password to the villa he bought for her had been changed to the manipulative guy's birthday. The house, once filled with memories, felt alien to him. So he threw away all their photos and marked the date he'd leave on the calendar. She saw it and thought he couldn't wait to marry her. But all he wanted now was to get as far away from this place as possible. The next day, he went to HR to quit his job, to finally end it all. Just as he reached the office door, he saw her gently tending to the manipulative guy's wounds. When she noticed him, she panicked for a moment, but quickly regained composure, insisting she only saw the guy as a little brother and told him not to overthink it. She tried to hug him, but he coldly stepped away. He remembered how many times he'd wanted to hold her, and how many times she'd refused, saying she'd reward him with a hug once a year if he behaved. Then she pulled out a diamond ring she'd prepped. Instead of being thrilled, he simply dropped it on the floor. Why? Because yesterday, while she was buying it, the manipulative guy secretly snapped a photo and posted it online to show off. Even so, she made excuses for him, saying he didn't understand marriage, he just wanted to try it on out of curiosity. At that moment, the manipulative guy called. Without hesitation, she left him behind again, barely glancing at the papers he handed her before hastily signing them. Finally, the wedding day arrived. Standing in front of everyone, she waited eagerly for him to walk down the aisle with her, to spend the rest of their lives together. But instead, he packed his bags and walked away, boarding a plane to start a new life abroad.